Alright. Let me explain something to you people. First of all, I've been around for a while. Now, how long I've been around is pretty much irrelevant. But, I've dealt with bullies almost my whole life. Alright? I'm 5'7". I've been 5'7" since I was 14 years old. Alright? When I was 13, I had a friend. His name is Joel Braddock. He's a goofy looking guy. I called him Pizza Face, but we were friends, so that was okay. He had super bad acne. Alright? And there's a point to this anecdote, just for the reason, whatever, so you know. Now, he and I both had Tourette's. Very bad. We had Tourette's so bad, in fact, we couldn't even talk to someone without ticking. Like that. I still have it. But most of my tics now are motor tics. Just little twitches and stuff. Popping my knuckles and spitting and snorting and coughing. Now, at about 14, my mom threw me in a martial arts system called Budokai Karate. Now, it was labeled as a mixed martial art. But truth of it is it was ninjutsu. It was Krav Maga, Eskrima, Hapkido, Taekwondo, all this shit thrown into one amalgamation. Shotokan, Tang Sudo, Muay Baran, fucking Eskrima, Kali, you name it. Jason M. Melcher was my teacher. Well, I come from a family of police and military. I was adopted. My biological family is truly worthless shit. And they all reside in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Every one of them. So I grew up an only child, despite actually having two brothers, blood-wise. And I was taught my whole life, you do what's right, no matter what the consequences are. No matter who hates you, if people spit on you, if they, treat you like shit. You do what's right. And I've done this, I'd say about 95% of my life. We all have moments where, the road goes this way, and we should be going this way, and we're like, nope, we can go this way. And then you get kicked right in the ass because you made a stupid choice. So 5% of the time, I make a dumbass mistake. We all do. It's human nature. Now, Jolie Polly was picked on. He was a Pentecostal. He was extremely, passive is not even the word. He was so forgiving and so fucking just completely. You could punch him. I saw someone punch Joel in the face when I was 14, which means he was 13. And he smiled at him and walked away, said that was unnecessary, but I forgive you. He's not that way anymore. He carries brass knucks and a straight razor. Think a Sweeney Todd straight razor. My granddad called them jackknives. But a lot changes. He's also a man whore, but that's beside the point. And he's a professional piercer, and he goes all over the world doing piercings. So whatever. He dropped out, by the way, and he's still making more money than most people who went to college for 6 years. Whatever. Well, one of these days, I saw, I was 14. Joel was just walking onto the school. Coastal Academy Psychoeducational Program is the name of the school in Brunswick, Georgia, where we grew up. Now, you had two types of people at this school, and this plays into it. You had retards, and then you had behavior children. So you had the and the kids that were just angry and violent. Joel was there because of his Tourette's and ADHD, which we've all proven that ADHD doesn't even exist. It's an excuse to give your children medication. There is no such thing as attention deficit disorder. Yet parents are still stupid and believe it. So you do what you do. And I was there because of my anger issues. Um, I was going to Glen Middle, which is another school in Brunswick, and they kicked me out because I was so small. I would fight simply to prove myself. Kind of a Napoleonic, like Napoleon complex is what I was when I was a kid. I've gotten over that, and the army kicked that shit out of me pretty fucking fast. Um, well, Joel was coming in, and he had his backpack, and I was going out to the front because I was working with the janitor that day. I was already on detention, and our janitor's name was Robert E. Lee. I can't make this shit up. He was a black man with 3 tours in Vietnam, and God, he had tours in Iraq before there was even an Iraq war. Big black dude, probably like 5'8", a couple inches taller than me. I'm only 5'7", so. But he had gray braids that came down to here. Nice guy. Had facial hair, had the gray streaks through it. And he's a janitor. But once you got to know him, he was a fucking badass. He was Spec Ops in Vietnam. I think he was a Green Beret or a Ranger. And in Iraq, he was one of like a tank mechanic or Jeep mechanic or something. I mean, anyway, really nice guy. He was like 50s. He was almost 60 working at our school. No, he was 54. 54. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Anyway, well, Joel was walking in, and I was walking out the front with Robert. Well, Robert and I turned this way to go to his car because we had to get some stuff out of his car so I could clean up the cafeteria with him because I was on demerits. And someone runs up and grabs Jolie Polly and grabs his backpack, pulls him on the ground, and they just start saying, "You're going to give me your Walkman." And Jolie Polly goes, "No, my mom bought that for me." And without even skipping a beat, I looked at Robert and said, "I'm sorry," and I ran. Full clip at this kid. I hit the kid so hard, I cracked 4 of his ribs when I tackled him. And the kid was probably like 5'10", 5'11", and he was bigger than me. He was hellified in better shape. I mean, he was built, poof. I mean, he was muscular as shit. And I hit him so hard, I heard the ribs crack. I didn't know how many got cracked. But I tackled him, and I fucking put my knees in his chest and just started hitting him in the fucking face. Just over and over. Well, 5 of his friends ran out of the classroom and started beating me. And you gotta think, this is like at 8:15 in the morning. Joel got there late. Well, they beat me so bad, and the janitor was trying to pull him off me, and I was still fighting him. I bit one kid's nose off. I mean, literally, I took the nostril, completely ripped it off in the fight with my teeth. I was beat so bad. I was hurt so severely that my mom had to come off work and take me to the ER. Well, come to find out, I was aspirating blood. I was choking on blood because it was going into my lungs. That's how bad they beat me. Well, I also got a 10-day suspension. Yeah, for defending my friend. So I don't have any faith in the system. From, landlords all the way up to the alphabet agencies. Otherwise, they'd be here protecting us and making us feel psychologically safe and physically safe, which is their jobs, pretty much, is to maintain security, and they do a really horrible job of it. Well, after my 10-day suspension, I came back, and I was supposed to do 30 days detention with Robert. You know what Robert did? He gave me a week of punishment, and the rest of the month, I didn't do anything. I sat there and just played spades with him. I played spades, poker, and tonk, which I don't even remember how to play poker or tonk. I'm still a beast at spades. He said, "You did what was right, and I don't care what the principal says. You're all right in my book." That's one of 2 times I was beat so bad I had to go to the hospital in high school. Now, I've had loaded guns pointed at my head. I've had people put knives to my throat. I've had people shoot at me, and thank God they were shitty shots. I'm not worried about police. I'm not worried about FBI. I'm not worried about NIB, CIB, ATF, any of these people because I'm doing what's right. I'm not concerned. If they want to arrest me, I'm not going to go. I'm just not. I haven't done anything wrong. The only thing I've done is try to clean up my community and keep the people I love and care about safe and other people's families safe. I don't go out and start a fight. I don't point a fucking gun at someone's face and say, hey, you're going to stop doing that shit or I'm going to shoot you. No, I don't do that. I wear my gun everywhere, even in gun-free zones. I keep the shotgun in the car every time I leave the house. Alright? And it's a 12-gauge Mossberg 590. Obviously, the heat shield gives it away. It's a Mossberg because Remington's a piece of shit and they don't have heat shields. Anyway, so I guess the point I'm making is when you do what's right, people are going to shit all over you. And that's unacceptable behavior. Either you're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. And by not doing anything, you're just as much a part of the problem as the cartels, the mafias, the corrupt police, the corrupt politicians, the child molesters, the rapists, the serial killers. I mean, you name it. By not doing anything, you're just as bad as they are. You can't sit on the fence. It doesn't work. There's no way. You can't teeter-totter. That's all I gotta say, man. Have integrity, or don't expect yourself or your family to ever succeed in this world, ever. And I don't deal with anyone with poor integrity. Do people make mistakes? Fuck yeah, people make mistakes all the time, dude. It happens. If you didn't make mistakes, you wouldn't be a human. But I don't deal with anyone who takes the option to harm others for no reason. I don't deal with anyone who does things that hurt people. I don't care if it's by 6 degrees of separation. If your actions are hurting people and it's not for the greater good, it's not going to happen on my watch. It's not going to happen around me. You can kill me. You can try. But I guarantee you're coming with me. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I don't care who says, they can't do anything. That's bullshit. You know what? It's fucking BS if you say that nothing can be done about it. It's a cop-out. Cop-outs are for quitters. There's no such thing as can't. There's no such thing as impossible. It's just a matter of determination and fucking drive. Drive, determination, ingenuity, resourcefulness, all those. You'll be anyone and anything. I've made it this far, and I've had doctors tell me over and over again, you'll be dead before you're 15, you'll be dead before you're 18, so on and so forth. I've heard that my whole life. Well, still here. I got 13 years left of my life, so I'm not really concerned about who has an issue with me. I know for a fact I'm going to live at least 13 more years. Now, how I know that? Story for another day. Bless you all. Grow some huevos and do what you gotta do, man. Adios, pendejos.